Later that day, I find my way up to Imran's retreat, high above the city.
It's absolutely amazing views.
This is where the Himalayas start.
This is one of the loveliest houses I've ever seen, and with a panoramic view over the political turmoil below.
What's your life like in Pakistan?
Busy. It's basically involved in politics, preparing for this movement for democracy, which the first step is backing the Chief Justice, to support the Chief Justice so that the judiciary stands by their judge rather than the GHQ. Unless the judiciary protects the weak, you can't have either democracy or prosperity. So today, everyone is talking about the independence of judiciary. So I think that is the key. Once you have an independent judiciary, only then you can have free and fair elections. I have never been more optimistic about Pakistan's political future as now.
Is this country going to become an extremist Islamic state?
We never had any extremism in Pakistan till we joined the American war on terror. And Pakistan itself has become a center of terrorism by joining this phony war of George Bush. And amongst most of the Muslims, no one perceives it as a war of terror anymore. People believe it to be war against Islam. So unfortunately, by joining in this war on terror, for the first time we have had suicide bombings in Pakistan. But basically, Pakistan is a moderate country. It's always been a moderate country. Whenever the people have been allowed to vote freely, they've always voted for moderate parties. They've never even voted for religious parties. So to be branded as a sort of extremist state is just so awful for us.
So, is democracy just around the corner in Pakistan? One man down there in the city knows better than most of us, but is he going to tell us? President Musharraf.
Pakistan's had over 32 years of military rule. What do you think people make of that? And do you think that's part of the cynicism?
We inherited a feudal structure, and we tried to introduce democracy into a feudal structure. Today also, there is a feudalistic society in Pakistan. And therefore, we had to tailor our democracy according to our needs. I don't think we did that. Therefore, every time there was a failure, and martial laws, civil government, alternative. So let's understand ourselves and where we are going and be happy and project it that way to the world.
Whether everyone's happy or not, Pakistan really is different to the image we have of it in the West. This is the last day of my journey, and it's a 5-hour drive from Islamabad to my family home in Kashmir. 60 years after partition, Kashmir is still disputed by Pakistan and India. But the district where my family live is relatively peaceful.
And there's Kashmir over there where all my family is. I'm so excited about seeing them. I remember this bridge from 10 years ago. It is really quite scary. You can hear every single plank move. And there's a big, fast river underneath it. And it's really scary. Here we are in Azad Kashmir. And there's always a police check here because of the security. This is my family's little town. I'm really excited now. It's such a small little village, so whenever a little new truck goes by or something that they haven't seen before, everybody just kind of comes out because they're so curious. There was a call, please.
I love coming home. But this time, I must admit, I find it all a little too much. I've only been back here once since my father died. But it's just so lovely being here with so many of my relatives, including my mother.
What doing you? Me? Take that.
My mother and father moved to England in 1965 and I was born in Nottingham. My parents didn't return to Kashmir for 30 years, so when my father died in 1998, we buried him on a hilltop next to our house, overlooking a spectacular valley. This is only the second time I've had the chance to visit his grave. I wish I could say it gets easier with time, but it really doesn't. Coming back to my family home has been emotional, but so has my entire journey. I've discovered that there isn't really a single Pakistan, but many Pakistans. And you know, I haven't once in 6 weeks encountered the one we get to hear about on the news in Britain. Even where people haven't really known what to make of me, the worst I've encountered is a bit of puzzled staring. It's hard to think of a more welcoming people or a more exotic landscape. But mostly, I've been accepted easily, often by those who have every right to be wary of outsiders. You hear of journeys that have changed people's lives and wish you could be on one. Well, I just have.
Lovely, insensitive skin.